What's up, guys? It's your boy Corey. Welcome back for number 3. In this vlog, we're going back to Westgate Poker Room for that deep $500 buy-in. Going to be playing 1-2 no limit. I just want to let you guys know, you guys are going to definitely see a lot of content coming out of Westgate. And I really like the floor manager, Lori. She's super nice, allows us to film at the table. So we got pretty much permission to film there. The dealers are all super nice, super professional there. Everything seems to go nice and smooth when I've been there. And there's a bar right in the poker room, so easy access to drinks. And it's just a good atmosphere to play some poker. So if you're around Grand Rapids, check out Westgate Poker Room. Definitely a good place to play. And with that deep buy-in for 500, and stacks get crazy, game gets bigger than 1-2. So definitely good action there. Good place to play. Go check it out. But I will see you on the table. Let's get in the action.
We buy in for the max, which is 500. We have a second table opening with 5 people. So we're playing 5-handed. We look down at pocket 10s in the under the gun +1. We elect to raise it up to $10. Under the gun +2 calls, the small blind and big blind come along as well. So we go 5 ways to a flop, which comes out 7, 5, jack with 2 clubs. With $40 on the pot, it gets checked to me, and we're not going to slow down, even though there's an overcard to our pair. We elect to bet $15, and it folds around. So we end up winning the first pot of the night. In this next hand, we look down at pocket 7s in the hijack. There's a $5 button straddle. Action gets folded around to us. We raise it up to $17. The only player that calls is the button. So we go heads up to a flop, which comes out 10, 9, 3 rainbow. With $38 in the pot, we want to deny any equity from any draws that he has or any overs that he may be holding. So we size up to $22. The button thinks about it for a minute and thinks that $22 just isn't enough. So he raises it up to $50. And I don't want to continue with a pocket pair with a backdoor straight draw. So we just get out of the way and go on to the next hand. This hand, we look down at King Queen offsuit in the low jack. There's a under the gun +1 raised to 7. Under the gun +2 calls. I elect to 3-bet to $24. The blinds fold and under the gun +1 folds as well, but under the gun +2 calls. So we go heads up to a flop, which comes out King 4-7 rainbow. With $58 in the pot, he checks to me, and we're just going to charge any King X holding that he may have, King Jack, King 10, medium pocket pairs, 8s, 9s, and 10s. So we bet just over a third of the pot for 20, and under the gun +2 calls. So we go heads up to a turn, which comes out the 4 of diamonds, putting a flush draw and pairing the board. So definitely looking to charge any other holdings that he might be trying to draw with, including his backdoor flush draws. So we definitely need to continue betting here, and we size up to $37, and the under the gun +2 calls again. So we go heads up to a river, which comes out the 9 of spades, pretty much bricking everything. So all the draws miss, and he has about $50 behind. He checks to me, and I think this is the time to go for max value and just get it all in. So we go all in for his remaining $50, and he thinks for a while. And he starts talking out loud, saying that his kicker's probably not good. So he probably does have King Jack or King 10 here, hoping that he doesn't have King Queen and finds a call to make a chop. And he thinks about it for a little while longer and ends up making the fold. So we take down this decent pot to begin the session. This next hand, we look down at King 10 of spades in the big blind. The cutoff and button limp in. The small blind calls for another dollar, and action's on me. I have seen a lot of players start limping in with ace king, ace queen. I even saw a hand where somebody limped in with pocket queens, and we're only playing 1-2, so people do some unorthodox things here. And I don't think King 10 is really a good candidate to raise with three people limping in. And I just don't want to really get 3-bet with King 10 being out of position. So we actually check our option and go 4 ways to a flop. And the flop comes out in our favor with 10 to king. So we flop top 2 pair. There's only $8 in the pot, so we definitely want to start getting some money in, but we don't want to scare away too many people with not being too many draws on this board. So we only size to $6. The cutoff actually min raises us to 12, but the button min raises the cutoff to $24. What the heck is happening? And the small blind just gets right out of the way. And with top 2 pair, we really can't go anywhere just yet. So we make the call for $24, and the cutoff calls as well. So we go 3 ways to a turn, which comes out the 3 of clubs, putting a flush draw on the board now. We actually check to the button, who bets out $24. I end up calling the $24, but the cutoff check raises all in for $82, and the button pretty much calls instantly. So now I'm thinking if I should even continue with top 2 pair here, not knowing what these guys have, just limping in. So we actually end up making the call thinking that top 2 pair is pretty unlikely that anybody really has a set of kings, maybe a set of tens, which we do block set of tens. So not really sure what anybody is really holding here except for some major combo draws now that there's a flush draw and a straight draw on the board. So we have to be in here, I think, just making the call and going heads up with a dry side pot to the river. So the river comes out the 4 of diamonds, bricking pretty much every draw that's out there except 5-6 now gets there, ace 5 gets there. But if anybody really has that, good for them. They deserve this pot. So I actually end up checking to the button, which goes all in for around $76. There's absolutely no way that I can just lay this one down having top 2 pair with so much money. So I end up sticking in the $76. He shows pocket 2s for a set of 2s. He takes down the side pot, and the cutoff actually shows pocket 10s for trip 10s. So we lose everything. Good hand, guys. On to the next one. After adding on for 200, we look down at Queen 10 offsuit in the low jack. There's a under the gun limp. I raise it up to $10. The big blind calls and the under the gun calls. So we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes out Queen 9-8 with 2 spades. So we do have the backdoor flush draw and a gutter with top pair. So pretty good flop for us. With $31 in the pot, it checks to me. I bet $20 and they both fold. Probably should have lowered my bet sizing here. So we take down a small pot. In this hand, we look down at King 10 offsuit in the hijack. There's a under the gun open to $10. Under the gun is a guy named Chad. Definitely a thinking player, probably one of the only thinking players at this table, and definitely a cool guy. We're definitely going to be battling it out with him all day. So keep him in mind, but we are definitely not going to be 3-betting him in this position with King 10 off. So we elect to actually just make the call. the small blind actually comes along as well. So we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes out 5, 4, 6 with 2 diamonds. $32 in the pot. Chad elects to bet to $15. And we're just going to make the call with the king of diamonds in our hand and ideas to steal this one down the road. So the small blind gets out of the way, and we go heads up to a turn, which comes out the jack of clubs. $62 in the pot. Chad bets $35, and I quickly make the call. The river comes out this 7 of hearts. Now, seeing how Chad is a thinking player, he's definitely going to realize that this board is going to be a lot better for my calling range than it is for his under the gun opening range, which is probably why he checks to me and waves the white flag here, and not putting him on really anything, maybe a jack, but probably more along the lines is ace king, ace queen, king queen. And so we actually try to steal this one. We go ahead and bet $60. He goes pretty deep into the tank, talking it out, thinking amongst himself, and actually elects to fold. He shows ace jack face up for the vlog, and we take down this nice pot, getting our bluff through on the river. In this hand, we look down at 9-10 of diamonds on the button. The hijack limps in. I raise it up to $13. Both of the blinds get out of the way. The hijack makes the call. So we go heads up to a flop, which comes out 8 jack 2 with 2 hearts. We flop a open-ended straight draw. The hijack checks to me. I size up and bet $25, and the hijack quickly makes the call. So the turn comes out the 7 of hearts. Knowing that we just drilled this straight on the turn, definitely not loving the front door flush coming in, but if he has the flush, so be it. He actually only has not even a pot size bet behind. So we actually bet $65, and he goes all in for $67 effective. No brainer. We're definitely going to make the call, and hoping that he just has a 1 pair with a heart. And we're going to go to a river, which comes out the ace of clubs. He flips over queen 9 of hearts for the flush, and we are going to muck our cards. So we take a pretty decent hit to our stack on this one. This hand, we look down at ace queen offsuit in the low jack. Action folds to me, and we raise it up to $12. Action's on the big blind, and he 3-bets to $42, which is the same guy that we got into it with a few hands ago. And he's definitely an action player, so we're going to give him some action back. We call the extra 30 and go heads up to a flop, which comes out queen 6-6 with 2 diamonds. We flop top top. The big blind bets $40, and we quickly make the call. The turn comes out the 3 of spades with $163. The big blind bets $100, and he only has about $150 behind. So if he really has aces or kings here, he's really not going to like this spot either way. So we're going to put him to the test and go all in, basically targeting his jacks, tens, and maybe even pocket nines that he may holding, ace king, maybe. So we put him to the test and go all in, and he thinks about it for a minute and actually makes the fold, not knowing what he had, but we take down this decent pot. This hand, we look down at ace king offsuit in the hijack. There's 1 limper to me, and I raise it up to $7. Action gets to the small blind, and he 3-bets to $33, which I think is pretty small for how the action has been at this table. And it looks pretty weak, looking kind of like he's trying to squeeze me off my hand. So we're definitely going to make a 4-bet here, and we're going to size up quite a bit. So we 4-bet to $125. The small blind thinks about it and actually rips it all in for about $237 effective. Not thinking about it for very long, being pretty pot committed here, and we make the call and get horrible news. He flips over pocket aces, so we are dominated, and the board comes out, and we do not improve. So he takes down this nice pot, and I feel like an idiot. We look down at Ace King of Diamonds in the under the gun straddle. We're straddling for $5. Action folds around to the hijack, who raises up to $18. The button then 3 bets to 70, and the button is the same guy that had aces on the previous hand, which was only 2 hands prior. So, not thinking he has aces or kings, being that there was only 1 hand in between this hand where he had aces. So, we're actually going to just rip her all in with ace king, and both players make the call. And I'm just going to let you guys watch how this run out goes, because it is pretty crazy.
All right, king, two. King, two.
Uh-oh, Jack.
Like Jack, well.
Yep, that's right. We turn the nut straight, making it so we chop with the button that also had ace king, and the aces actually lose this one. So we definitely got lucky with the button, and it just so happens the button is actually Chad. So we look at each other in disbelief that that just happened. Definitely got lucky, but it was pretty crazy that the hijack had aces 2 out of the last 3 hands, and we actually take down this sizable pot, getting super lucky on the turn. This next one, we look down at Ace King again in the under the gun +2. Action folds to me, and we raise it up to $10. The middle position player and the small blind call. So we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes out King 8-5, and we drill top pair with top kicker. Pretty good flop for us. The small blind checks. I check for deception. Can't really bet all of our strong hands. Do have to check some of them. But unfortunately, the middle position player checks behind. Then we go to a turn, which comes out the 8 of hearts, which is not the best card, seeing that they could definitely have some 8s in their range. But the small blind checks to me, and we're going to put a little bet out for $10 for value. The middle position folds, but the small blind makes the call. The river comes out, the 4 of diamonds. The small blind checks to me again, and we are going to size up, being that he did not raise us when the 8 came out on the turn. And we bet 35 to get value from any other King X holdings. And the small blind actually quickly makes a call, and we actually take this one down, not knowing what he had. In the last hand we're going to go over, we look down at pocket queens in the low jack. The middle position limps. I raise to $13. The small blind calls, and the middle position calls as well. So we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes out 4-6 jack with 2 spades. And seeing how we have an overpair, it checks to me. We're not going to slow down. We bet half pot for 20. The small blind calls, but the middle position gets out of the way. So we go heads up to a turn, which comes out the 10 of diamonds. With $80 in the pot, the small blind checks to me, and I bet just over half pot for $45. And the small blind actually 3 bets to $120. And this is the same player named Chad that we have been battling with all night, and he has about 150 behind. And seeing how the pre-flop play went, we know he probably doesn't have aces or kings, or he would have 3-bet me pre-flop. So seeing how there's 2 spades, we're definitely going to put him on probably ace jack of spades. Not really sure what else he could have. If he does have a set of 4s, a set of 6s, or even Jack 10, he's definitely just going to get all of our money here. So we actually rip it in for approximately 270, and he calls pretty quickly. And the river comes out the 8 of diamonds, so we don't see another spade on the river, but we did not need to brick a river. For spades, we needed to actually pair the board with a 4 or 6 because he turns over Jack 10, and Chad is going to get the best of us on this one. Good hand, Chad. Good playing with you today, and good luck on the tables. We rack up and head to the cashier. We took a loss today, but we're definitely going to get him next time.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe. It always helps me out, always helps the channel out, and we can just continue to grow. I promise that the content is going to get better. I'm pretty limited on places to go in West Michigan, and there's not every place isn't open yet due to COVID, so we're kind of limited. We are going to start traveling around here, but things are only going to start looking up. Unfortunately, in this one, we did buy in for 700 and cash out for 215, making it a loss of 485. So we didn't have very good luck on this one. Probably didn't play the best either, but we're going to get them next time, hopefully. The next vlog is going to be at Firekeepers, so hopefully we get some better run good on that one. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.